Let's talk about the big three. So when backpackers talk about the big three, they're referring to the three main items that they have to carry with them when they go on a long hike. Those include their backpack, their shelter, and their sleep system. These three items will be the majority of the weight that you're carrying on your back, and they're extremely important. Money spent in these areas to reduce your weight can reap huge benefits, and spending time to choose the best pack, shelter, and sleep system for you is time well spent. So today we're going to talk about the big three that I've chosen for my 400-mile section hike starting this March at Springer Mountain. I'll also review a little bit about what I've done in the past and why I decided to choose these particular items for this hike. Hopefully, this will help you decide what's best for you. So when I resumed backpacking in 2014 and went to buy new gear, I bought myself an Osprey Atmos 65-liter pack and did several hikes with this pack. This thing was a monster. It could carry anything, and it also weighed about 4 pounds. I would highly recommend that you not take a pack like that when you go on a long through hike or section hike. So for 2015, when I started my section hiking on the Appalachian Trail, I decided to get a lighter pack. I went to REI and looked at their outlet center and found a lighter weight frameless pack that was on sale. It was this Mountain Hardwear Thru-Hiking 50. Very few people hike with this pack, but I found it was really pretty fabulous. It carried a fairly good amount of material in it. It didn't weigh very much. It only weighs about 2 pounds. And I hiked 500 miles with this pack. The only problem I had with the pack was that it's made out of nylon and it therefore is not waterproof. And to keep the material dry in your pack, you either have to have a pack cover or at a minimum have a trash compactor bag or some other kind of pack liner to keep the items in your pack dry. So after hiking with the Thru-Hiking 50, I sought a pack that was waterproof and equally lightweight, and I found that with the ULA Ohm 2. So the Ohm 2 is a DCF pack that weighs about 2 pounds. I found it was really great for me. It's got really big side pockets, and then it's got a middle pocket on the outside that's large enough to hold your tent or raincoat or anything that's wet. It's got a good amount of room inside underneath the roll top. The other thing I do is I have this little DIY Reflectix pad that I put inside the pack along the back. This pad serves as insulation when I sleep and also helps make the pack more comfortable. So the Ohm 2 has really been fantastic for me, and I love this pack, and I anticipate hiking with it for a considerable amount of time in the future. Probably the best thing about it is since it's made out of DCF, the pack is waterproof. This pack actually was hanging on a tree next to my hammock in a thunderstorm in central Pennsylvania. During this storm, we got 6.5 inches of rain in 2 hours. I've never seen it rain so hard in my life, but everything inside that pack stayed perfectly dry. If you'd like to look at other options, perhaps the pack that most thru hikers are choosing now is one from Hyperlite Mountain Gear. There also are lots of other opportunities for packs made by cottage companies such as Z-Packs and other companies of the sort. So number 2 on the list of the big three is your shelter. For the first 1,000 miles on the Appalachian Trail, I slept in a hammock. I found the hammock was extremely comfortable, and it also was fairly easy to find a place to set up my hammock since there are trees everywhere on the Appalachian Trail. This year I've decided to make a change and sleep in a tent. I did a little research and looked around and found a tent that's fairly lightweight and also not horrifically expensive. The current price range for Dyneema Cuban fiber lightweight backpacking tents is in the range of $600 to $700. I didn't want to invest that kind of money starting out with a tent. So what I did was buy a Durston X-Mid 1P. This is the tent right here. I've made my own DCF bag for it, and it only weighs 2 pounds. So let's take it outside, set it up so I can show you the tent. Here's the Durston X-Mid 1P set up outside. It uses trekking poles and 4 stakes to hold the corners. There's also a vent that I don't have open here. The tent is actually really large. It's 46 inches high on the outside and over 100 inches long. There's lots of room inside. You can see with the vestibule open, the inner tent, which I made my own DCF floor for. The vestibule is pretty large, and I think I hope we'll have plenty of room inside the tent, and hopefully I'll stay nice and warm in the cold weather in the early spring. So the third item on the big three is your sleep system. I've elected to use my 20-degree war bonnet down quilt on this trip. This quilt has done a wonderful job over the years, and it's actually one of the first items I bought when I resumed backpacking years ago. The down quilt has kept me warm well below 20 degrees, and I expect it will do so on this trip as well. Along with my down quilt, I have a Nemo Tensor air mattress. I elected to get this one purely because of comfort. There are lots of other pads that weigh less, but they don't insulate as well. They're not as comfortable, and some of them can be really quite noisy. The final item in my sleep system is I decided to bring an inflatable pillow with me. So I picked up a Trekology inflatable backpacking pillow on Amazon. It's relatively inexpensive, and I found it fairly comfortable when I've tried it out. So here are these items if you'd like to see them. This is my war bonnet 20-degree quilt. This is my Nemo Tensor air mattress. And finally, this is my Trekology pillow. So that's my big three for this coming hike. I hope you find that me going through these has been helpful to you. If you're still considering or reconsidering what you're going to bring with you, I would encourage you to look for items that are both lightweight, functional, and also comfortable as well. You'll find that over time, you'll probably change these items. And in fact, if you're doing a thru hike, you probably won't finish your thru hike with all 3 of these items that you start with. So this is Puffin. I hope to see you out on the trail in the spring. I'll have my big 3.